everybody. I'm so excited. I hope you are too. I am here to introduce to you someone who is so special and dear to me. He is an educator, a motivational speaker, a radio personality, but most of all, he is a minister. Now, he has checked himself. It's your turn now. I'd like to introduce to you none other than Minister Corey Wright.
All right. Thank you, people of God. First of all, let me thank God for this opportunity, giving honor to God who's the head of my life. Thank Him for blessing me. Thank you for all the people that came to this private CD recording. I'm honored and gracious. My mom is here. I got out the house, people of God. So I'm very excited about the recording of this CD and DVD, and I pray that it helps you with tools that will change your life immediately, but will change your perspective so you can change your mechanics. And the first thing I want to talk about is the CD title, which is I Check Myself, Now It's Your Turn. And God gave me that concept because so many times we as people want people to be what we're not, or we don't want to live by example. We can always say what you should do, but it's a greater sticknuity to that when you're doing it. Living as an example, I'm going to be what I'm asking you to be. So therefore, I check myself first. So I'm going to do all the work first. Now it's your turn. I'm going to stop drinking. Now it's your turn. I'm going to stop cussing. Now it's your turn. I'm going to be the change that I require people to be. We live in a society of visual. Even though we know what we learn book smart, but it's nothing like seeing somebody doing it. So I check myself. I take responsibility. So therefore, I can convict you with my actions more than I can convict you with my words. Let me say that again. I can convict you with my actions greater than I can convict you with my words. I can be the example and the flow model. So therefore, when you see the picture on the TV, you know you're going to get a good view at home. Let me see. Ooh, I feel good today, people. I will be the change that I require. So people of God, you have to check yourself first. You want a good man, you want a good woman, you have to be that first. You want somebody to be understanding, you have to be that first. You have to be everything you're asking people to be first. You have to be the example, you have to be the stairway, you have to be the elevator, because people can see you for being who you are if you're doing it. That's my first point. My second point is results. The only thing in the natural that will never lie to you is your results. People can dispute your words, but they can't dispute your actions. They can't dispute your effort. They can't dispute your results. They can dispute everything you say, but if you're doing what God has called you to do and you're good at it, you cannot be disputed. A lot of times we're viewing things that happen in our life according to what we think or what we feel, opposed to our results. And the reason why your results is important because it changes your mechanics. Because everything, now a lot of the situations we go through in life is not always spiritual. It's not always something cosmetic or in the universe. A lot of it has to do with mechanics. So your mechanics give you your results. So if you're not having the results that you want, now it should tell you that I have to change what I do. Because therefore, what I do will show me my results, and it show me if I'm lying to myself or if I'm lying to the world. Therefore, your results will never lie to you. You can always dispute my words, but you can't dispute my results. See, a lot of people used to tell me what I can't do, that I wouldn't be in radio. But I'm in radio constantly. People tell me you wouldn't be able to motivational speak or get in front of people, but I'm doing it constantly. Some people say, well, you don't have a job. You're not going to get a good job, but I got a great job. I got jobs where I do what I love to do, which is speak. I've been speaking forever. So my results, it nullifies your negativity. It nullifies what you say because you cannot dispute my results. If you want to be something in life, you have to look at the results of that. I don't care if you stand in a garage for 9 hours with a big Cadillac medallion on your chest. You are still not a Cadillac. But you can stand there in 9 hours and work hard 9 hours on the job and drive your Cadillac. Necessarily have to be a Cadillac. You can look good in one, but necessarily make you going to be one. But you have to look at your results. Even in a relationship. even in life, even everything we do, we have to look at the results of what we're doing. That will tell us whether we're on the right path or not. You know, if I get enough rest at night, then I'm on the right. I have the right results in the morning when I have to do my job. So we have to look at our results, and that is the hardest thing to do because our results tell us the truth. It tells us the truth about ourselves. It tells us the truth about our situation. It tells us the truth about life. We don't have the results we are. And so many people are proclaiming to be what their results say they're not. They're lying to themselves because they won't identify themselves through their results. Am I a good father? What makes me a good father? Because I take care of my kids. That's cause and effect. That is a result. Why am I a good man? Because I treat my lady good. Why? Because the results show that I treat her good. Why am I a good worker? Because every day I do my job at a high level, I get the results. Everything that I do, am I good on the radio? Yes, I am, because I get the results. Hercules. So the results are true by what I do. So judge your life on the results. My next point is so important because two things have to work simultaneously for great results. Your mind has to work just as hard as your body, but they have to work simultaneously. The problem is our energy in our body is overtaking the energy in our mind, so therefore when our body is still, our mind is racing. Therefore we can't get the proper rest to be the top. So we have to work our body just as much as we work our mind. We have to, so if I work out 12 hours a day, I need to work my mind out 12 hours a day. So when our body comes to rest, my body is tired, my mind is tired. So many times those things are not corresponding. They are important and essential to being great. You have to work your mind just as much as you work your body. So many times you're up at night because your mind has got the first chance to say something. Because your energy, that's why most people, they don't put aside their issues with their mind. They put them aside with their energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to keep busy doing what I do, knowing that my mind is not getting any exercise, in hibernation. So my mind was like, I'll wait patiently until your body go to rest, because you can't go forever. And then once you can't go forever, I'll have my time. People of God, you have to work both of them together. You have to work your mind and your body. They have to be worked simultaneously. One cannot outdo the other, because if one of them is out of place, the whole body is going to fall apart. So you have to know your limitations, but you have to know that both of them have to correspond with each other. So from now on, make an exercise mind plan. I love it. Make an exercise mind plan, meaning that I am going to do just as much physical as I'm going to do mental. So I'm going to be the complete machine, not just a half machine. So when I rest, I'm going to get the proper rest my body needs, my soul needs, my spirit needs, because I have a sequence of mind and body. So you have to work both of them. My next point is so important to who you are. See, we're looking for answers, and we get this notion in our mind that God, we're waiting on God, or God gonna show me the way. Not understanding that God gave you the answer to your life when you were born. He already gave you the answer. He already gave you the key to all his ordained riches and glory for your life. The problem is you're not listening. And what you're not listening to is your key to your answer is what you do well. God commissioned, he didn't make everybody doctors. He didn't make everybody lawyers. He didn't make everybody own a radio station. He didn't make everybody talk like me. But we have the answer that we're trying to do. We have the key all along. The problem in life is so many people are doing what they're not born or commissioned to do in life. So they're failing at things that they were never meant to do. Some people are chefs. Wonder why they can cook too good, why they can put stuff together. And then wonder, say, I don't like cooking, but you cook so well. Not knowing that you can be an executive chef, or you can create a book that can make you millions of dollars. Some people are natural born leaders, like my friend Wanda is a natural born leader, amazing personality. Just like the guy that's taping me today, he has a gift for catching the right right angle. He has a gift like Earl. Earl is an amazing proprietor of this radio station, giving people like myself the opportunity. Like my friend Cheney, she's an amazing woman of God, strong of minded. She is good, but she expresses herself in such a great way. And so many times we are doing what is out of our calling. We're not answering the question that God already answered, or we're not asking the question that God already answered. The Bible says he knew us before the foundations of the world. So the question of who we were and what we can do was already answered before we was ever thought of, before my mom ever met my dad, before my dad ever met my dad's mom, before any of us created. God gave you the answer. So now you have to reevaluate who you are by asking yourself the simple question: what do I do good? What is it that I can do that nobody else can do like me? Then once you identify that, you have now determined your key and your way out. You have now opened up the door to all that God has ordained for you, all the riches, all the amazing things. You see rich people today. Rich people have discovered what they do well. And they keep doing it residually. They keep doing it over and over and over again. What is it that you do good? I knew my calling was talking, but I finally found my calling radio. Because I do it well. It's what I love to do. I'm consumed with it. It's a passion. But I know what I do well. When I was young, and my mom knows she's here, people always say, you talk too much. You always got, so I would talk from day, my lips would keep moving the minute I wake up, still moving. But now I'm getting paid for this talking. I made good money last year. I'm on the radio. I'm getting paid to do what I do well. And I have accepted it that this is what I do well. I will talk you till your head fall off and I can keep talking. You know, I remember when I walked into the studio and the producer said, well, you want to start off with one show? I said, you don't know how much I talk. You don't know how much of one show, please. You need to give me 3 shows and TV. And now I got it all because I need the time, because I do talk well. Listen, this CD, you guys, and I told my producer, wrap this CD up, because I'll still be talking when the CD over with, the credits be rolling, I'll still be talking, because this is what I love to do. But I have found what I am good at, and this is the door, this is the thing that's been opening up doors for me. It allowed me to meet Wanda, who gave me the opportunity at this station, gave me the opportunity to spread this message to everybody, because I do what I love to do. So if you don't have the results that you want, why don't you reevaluate your ability and see what it is you do well? See, there go your answer right there. There go your answer to immediate change. Not what I have, not how much money I got, not how many people give me the opportunity. Because if you do what you do well, the opportunity will find you. The money will find you. I sat here and Earl told me, he said, don't worry about sponsorship. Do what you do well and people will sponsor you. And the last 2 months, I didn't even pay for it. Somebody else paid for it. I showed him the checks and people cutting checks because I do what I do well. That's how you have to identify it. So people reevaluate yourself, do a self-help check on yourself and say, okay, just like you do when you go to take the admissions test, hook up your brain and your body and find out what I do well. And then you have your outcome of your answer. It's what you do well. So I don't know what everybody do well, but whatever you do well is your answer out of your situation and to all that God has for you. Let me get into number 5. Number 5 is it's good to know what you do well, but you must have an operating space to do it. You cannot see, a lot of times we know what we need to be doing, but we don't give ourselves the operating space to do it in. It's like being a whale in a fishbowl. I got water and I got somewhere to go, but I got nowhere to move. See, you got to know just how much room you need. And that can be with places, people, and things, and money. Because you have to know what I need to do. I know I have a budget set that I work overtime at work to pay for this radio show, to make sure I have everything I do. See, I have a budget already because I'm a whale and I can't move in a fishbowl. I got water, I got somewhere to live, but eventually I'm going to die of crying. And there are people in your life, it's just like that fishbowl. You got to realize that some people are not big enough to receive you. They're not big enough to allow you to move. So those are the people you have to get away from. And you have to identify that, because see, if you cannot be better in yourself, be better in your ability, and be better in life, you are with people that's too small to be with you or around you in life. If you are not happy in what you're doing, then your fishbowl is too small. You are too big for the fishbowl. See, God gave you the gifts without repentance. He gave you the gifts. He gave you everything you need, but you have to find the place big enough to operate in. And you got to be with people that's big enough to operate with you, big enough to operate in your life. See, you can't operate with me if you're too small-minded, or you small thinking, or you're thinking about what you're losing opposed to what you're gaining. The cup is half empty instead of half full. See, I need people that's big enough, and I had to learn that through trials and tribulations, that some people are just too small. They weren't not bad people, or they were not good people, but they were just too small for me to swim in. They were too small for me to grow in. So those are the people that I had to get away from. There are some positions. You know, you think about your thinking far as people. You know, I remember living with my mom, and I remember some of the things she used to teach me when I was growing up about, about life, about bills, about finances. And see, my fishbowl was too small for me to understand or grasp the things she was teaching me. But as I got my own fishbowl, my perception changed, because now I'm big enough to do that. So I like what God did when God took me through having the surgery, where I lost 165 pounds, and then get me a beautiful place that's, I should say to myself, I don't want to live alone. But now I'm glad I live alone, because I have the space I need to operate in, the atmosphere I need to grow in, and I have what I need. So I have the space, and I have everything I need for the capacity of my calling. And once you have everything you need for the capacity of your calling, then you know that you're able to operate. So knowing your call is a good thing, people of God. Know what God has called you to do, but know your operating space. Know how much room you need, how much space you need. Hey, Victoria, I'm going to say hi to you anyway. Hey, know how much space you need to operate in your calling, because the worst thing you can do is have a call with not enough room to operate in. Know your call. Let me get to my next point. My next point is number 6. I got some good points. And I pray this is blessing you. Number 6, change your position before you answer a call or before you answer a question. See, so many people can be in the gutter, living in the gutter, thinking it's a gutter, but then they're preparing to be in a penthouse. Not understanding that you cannot prepare for a certain position until you in it. There was a saying people always say back in the day, if I was in that situation, I would do something different. I understand it's a big difference in being proactive than reactive. See, proactive, you can think about all the situations you would do, but when you're in it, you got to be reactive. You'd be surprised what you do. So we have people nowadays answering calls and answering questions in a position they're not in. So they're laying in the gutter saying that I need this for the penthouse, I need that for the penthouse, I need this. So when they get all the things from a gutter state of mind or gutter thinking, they move up to the penthouse, and what they do is turn the penthouse into a high level gutter. Because see, their mind frame was still on the gutter mind frame, and then they took the gutter mentality to the penthouse. Instead of saying, I'm going to leave everything from the gutter in the gutter, and as I move up, I'll make the decisions I need to do in the penthouse. So my solution to people, before you know what you need in a position, get there first. Do the mechanics and everything you need to do to get there. So once you get there, then you will be reactive instead of proactive, because you don't know about a place until you get there. I don't know what it is. I went to broadcasting school, and I've learned a lot in broadcasting school, but then I thought I knew a lot until I started to do radio. And I learned more from Earl and Juan in the last 4 months than I've learned in years of broadcasting school. Because on-the-job training is so much better than school, because I know what I need to face. I know how to interview. I know how to take people to a certain level. I know how to pull them back. I know how to change the mood. These are all things that I learned not in school. The great Curtis Mayfield said, you can teach a man how to play, but you can't teach him how to play what's in them. And I'm going to change that. You can teach a person what to say, but you can't teach them what to say within them. That was information I had to learn. So now my respect for being a radio personality has changed in doing it, just like my respect for being a minister. I remember my pastor used to tell me, Pastor Sam, that is different when you're in a position where people are following you and watching opposed to people are watching. But that's another principle. We go further down. But I understand that every decision that I make, I have to make in a situation. And that could be financial, that could be physical, that can be mental, that could be spiritually, that could be in a relationship. That a lot of times we are loading up on stuff we don't need in a relationship. And then when we get there, we got all these unadulterated feelings, or we got all these things clogged up because we're loading up for where we were instead of loading up where we're going. Oh, I love that. We're loading up for where we go, where we've been instead of where we're going. Because see, a lot of times when we get into people with preconceived notions and preset mind patterns and thinking that this person's not going to hurt me, this person's not going to do me, when that person is not. Because see, a lot of times we ask God for situations and we ask God for people, but we got to be able to receive them. So we got to have the capacity to receive them. And the reason why we got to have the capacity to receive them, we have to eliminate what's already there to make room for what we want to come. See, we can't have a mind that's full and saying that we know what's going to happen, because I personally have never been in a successful relationship. So I don't know what a successful relationship is. So I'm not going to take no unsuccessful relationship patterns into a new successful relationship. Because if I knew what one was, I would be in one. You cannot deny your results. So I am not going to take, see what happens is when I get married, I'll learn and go from there. You know, when I become a business owner, I learn and go from there. When my CDs sell 1 million copies, I learn and go from there. But I will do that because a lot of times I can't tell you how to live a rich life because I ain't rich yet. But when I get to a rich life, I sure tell you how to do it. So definitely do that. So you have to get there first. You have to do everything that needs to be done to get there first, then be reactive from the situation, because you don't want to take what you don't know into what you don't know. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm respecting you. You don't want to take what you don't know into what you don't know. Because if you knew how to be successful, you don't want to take it into success with someone you don't know. So God, if you look at it like, wow, that's pretty good. You don't think about that. So you got to get there first. Now, my next point is for relationships. We have to take responsibility for the level we take people to. Because the level we take people to changes the relationship with them forever. See, a lot of times, people have said negative things about me. They've said that you're this, you're not this, you're not this, you're not that. And my response to them, you're absolutely right. I'm every negative thing you ever said about me. The only thing about that is, I'm that way with you. So the question is, why am I so negative with you? What is it about you that bring out the negativity in me? See, I can be disrespectful to anybody, but then I change my relationship with them always. I can be physical with somebody. I can say, hey, mama, you look good. You know, let me holler at you a little later. Let's go get a drink and go to my place. See, I've already tainted that relationship forever. Because I've already gave you a notion in your mind to create me, but I can treat you like a lady and say, how you doing? You're a very beautiful lady. Can I have your number today? You know, let me take you out. Let me treat you like a lady and queen you out. It's a big difference. Now I've set a standard and took you to a level. See, we don't understand when we get into relationships, we get into arguments, we get into a fight. We have set the standard in the people. Because we have said and proclaimed what they are. So they're being exactly what it is. So when somebody says that there's no good men out here, all men dogs, what is it about you that keeps tracking these no good men? Because if you are not healed and you're wounded and you're bleeding, you jump into a lake full of sharks, they're coming for you. Why? Because they smell the blood. See, the thing is that what blood are you giving out to these negative and bad people? See, I used to always say to myself, and you know, when I was broken, before I had my surgery, I lived in a dark place. You know, I felt that, you know, I had to be overly nice or nobody would love me being a big man, and I would give everything and felt nobody would give me anything. So when I run into the women that I felt like I had to save, when in actuality, I needed to be saved. Because just like if I'm half and this person half, we multiply. The Bible said be multiplied fruitful. If I multiply my half by your half, we don't get a 1/4. We get less together than we had when we were apart. So I had to realize that I had to change me to attract better. See, I was attracting because see the The hardest reality for us to see is we're attracting people just like us. Or it's something in us that's sending out signals to people that we are vulnerable, we are hurting, and because a lot of times people will tell you what they think about you. But they'll tell you what they think about themselves, because they'll say you looking at this, or you feel that, or you feel me on this, or you know what, you think I'm just a person that have attitude. No, you think you're a person that have attitude because you proclaim to me what I'm thinking. But you're attracting the people with the attitudes. So you attract people that's going to use you for what you are. So, but if I'm a good man of God, and I'm living right, and I'm exercising, I'm eating right, I'm feeling good about myself, I'm living the way God said, I'll attract the same thing. Because birds of a feather flock together, but you got to have the same feather to flock. See, somebody with a different feather can't stick, nor are they going to fly with you. So God made me an eagle. I can't sit down with chickens, or I can't live in a chicken coop. He made me an eagle. So I got to find somebody not just fly with me, but fly just as high as me or high. Give me something to ascend to, but understand that I am attracting to me what I am getting. Every failed marriage, every bad relationship, every bad word spoken, I attracted that to me by what's in me. That's why the Bible said, let this heart be in me that's in Christ Jesus. So let the spirit in me come out. I want people to feel my energy. That's why when I sit down and interview, I want people to feel my energy, because if you feel my energy, your life is immediately transformed. Because you feel my energy. I'm attracting that. I'm attracting that. That's why I'm one of those people that I carry enough money all the time to carry a deal. I learned that in a book, in a self-help book, that if anybody give me a price or give me a deal, I'm going to pay you right on hand. Therefore, I just seal the deal with money. I got currency built up with you. Therefore, we just seal the deal. There has not been one time in here, Earl will tell you, is my witness, that we've discussed a commercial. I got Wanda here, got a girl here, or something, that he said, okay, I can do this deal. So really, here you go. Bam. Deal sealed. We have signed our name on the money. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. But you got to realize that you are attracting people that you are. So if you change you change the situation and people around you. That is pressing. You have to heal before you jump in the water sharp, because they will smell your blood of vulnerability. They will smell your blood of falseness. They will feel your blood of doubt. They will smell your blood of low self-esteem. They will smell your blood. You have to heal first. Let me go to the next point. You have to sign your blood, sweat, and tears on a decision. The Bible says you bind on heaven, you bind on earth. The problem is you're not binding anything because you're not signing your blood, sweat, and tears to a decision. Everything that you want to do start off with a decision, but there's terms, there's process, and there are things that have to be done before the decision come to fruition. So you have to decide on a decision. I could decide right now to be a doctor. And I can say, I'm going to put my blood, sweat, and tears. But I have to be ready to do everything that it takes to be a doctor. Go to college. I have to be able to go to medical school. I have to do all the years of residency. I have to do everything I have to do. There's no spiritual illumination. There's no spiritual thing that comes from that. I have to make a decision and sign my blood, my sweat, and my tears on there. I have to say I have signed my name, my blood, sweat, tears to be one of the next best radio personalities. And I'm going to do everything I have to do. I will not eat to make sure I'm on the radio. That's not what I would. But because that's how committed I am to being a radio personality. You have to sign your blood, your sweat, tears to your decision. A lot of times you have ability without decisions. You have money without decisions. You have opportunities without decisions. You have people willing to help you without decisions. You have to make a decision. You have to say, this is what I'm going to do. It's just like when you get married. When you make a decision, I'm going to choose this woman. I've made a decision. There is nothing out there. I don't care how good it look. I don't care what they can offer me. I don't care if their supermodel can offer me what I got. I have made a decision. We cannot let fear derive us from making a decision. We got too many people all over the place. They call it a term, jack of all trades, master of none. Nobody is a master of none because nobody is taking ownership of decisions. I am not going to make a decision, but I'm going to go through life in limbo. But the problem with that is our enemy is time. Our enemy is age. Do you have people that's old age in their 70s still trying to find their calling? When God gave you your calling when you was born, but afraid to make a decision. You cannot be afraid to make a decision. I carry enough, just today I don't have money on me, but I carry enough money for I'm going to make a decision. We're not going to talk. When we make a decision, we'll make a decision. You have to make a decision. Now, knowing your calling should make your decision easier. But you have to be committed to that. No matter. Now, here's the thing about a decision when you're committed to a decision. You have to look out for all the things that go with that decision. You got to look at all the hard work. You got to look at all the dedication. You got to look at all the bad things that come. You got to look at everything that's going to derail. You got to look at the bad relationship. You got to look at the fallout. You got to look at the ability that you have to leave people. You have to look at everything that comes with making a decision. But you have to do that. And then before God, you have to sign your blood, your sweat, and your tears. God, this is what I want to do. This is what you call me to do. I commit to it today. I will do it. I will not turn my back on my decision. If I have to leave everything and everybody to do it, I will do it. Because that's a decision I made. It has to be something that's signed. It has to be legalized in your heart. It has to be legalized in your mind. It has to be legalized in your soul. I have signed my name on being a radio personality, and that's what I was doing. I have signed my name, my blood, my sweat and tears on being a motivational speaker. I have signed my blood, my sweat and tears on being a minister. I have signed my blood and sweat and tears on helping people. I have signed my blood, my sweat, and my tears. I believe in what God has called for me so much that I will give my life for it. I have signed away my rights. God, I will do this, and I will give everything I got. People make a decision, but you have to sign it. See, once you sign with your blood, sweat, and tears, nobody can get into your head negatively. You know, you always have a strong but. There's nothing like a strong but when it's about what you made a decision on. You know, somebody say, well, you're not doing good, but I'm going to do this. Or somebody say, you don't have money, but I'm going to still do this. You know, hit them with a strong but make a decision. Let me go to the next point. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. The next point is you have to change your view. The view is different from the crowd than it is looking at the crowd. So you got to understand that your view changes when you in a crowd opposed to when you're standing by yourself. Because see, the crowd can sway your view or it can have something. That's why I've never been a person that run with crowds. Because see, your perception will not be my dimension, nor will it be my conviction. That's your perception. That's what you see. Because I realize that the truth changes from everywhere I stand. So if I'm looking at that car and I only see two wheels, I'm not lying. That's what I see. But if Earlson is seeing the same car, he sees four wheels. Is he lying? No, he's not lying because that's what he sees. So therefore, if I'm looking from a crowd, I have people viewing my crowd. That's why if you have a dream, don't tell your dream to dream killers. But don't go through people and ask them their opinion because they can't answer something that they weren't given a vision of. So, and their perception, their answer is going to always be from what they see. So if they're in a house full of turmoil and you ask them about peace, they can't ask you a peaceful question. They can ask you a question of turmoil. You know, so you have to realize that if God said do it, that's good enough. Change your view. Leave the crowd and see what's around you. Because see, when you stand by yourself, you can see in a 360-degree angle. Therefore, you can see all the things you are missing in the crowd. It is a time where you have to be by yourself. You have to be alone. You have to realize that the crowd is not helping me, but the crowd is hurting me because it's blocking my view. And why do I need to see the whole view? Because I know what I need to do and I can see the different angles I need to get in on. But I can't do that from a crowd. I can't even take a crowd perception. I got to stop their perception. You know what? I don't feel it can work. Okay, well, it might not work for you. You telling the truth for you because it did work. But for me, it worked. Or somebody say, you know, I get so many people all the time tell me I can't talk for 2 hours. Okay, but then they do talk. You talk for 2 hours. Okay, it didn't work when you was on somebody else's show, but on my show, you could talk for 2 hours. Can I get an amen, Toya? Because Toya said, I can't talk. She said, I can't talk for 2 hours. You might get 15 minutes out of me. Oh, Toya, it's 2 hours. You didn't talk for 2 hours. So you can definitely do it, but you have to change out of the crowd. Now, here is something that my personal testimony, number 10. We're gonna move on. Number 10 is my personal testimony because people say you can pick and choose your battle. That's not right. You can't. But you can pick the battlefield. And normally the battlefield is what dictates the outcome. You know, I was in a situation where I had to fight one of my son's mom about seeing my child. Now, I can't pick that fight because she has my son. I have to see him. But the difference was I changed the battlefield because I got a lawyer and we go before a judge. See, in a lawyer for a judge, it has restrictions, it has things that can put both of us in jail if we go against. So therefore, the battlefield was changed. So the outcome was different. And it was a favorable outcome. There are so many people that you are fighting on their battlefield. You're fighting ill prepared because you're trying to make a point on their battlefield. You cannot pick and choose your battles. You can change the battlefield, basically change the strategy. See, I can talk back to you. I can get on my knees and pray for you. I just changed the battlefield. Or you know what? I'm having money problems. I still got to fight the rent people. I still got to fight the condo people. So what am I going to do? I'm going to change the battlefield. I'm going to work overtime. I'm going to change the battlefield. You know what? I tell you what. I can fight all day with somebody, you know, especially I'm in love with them. We can fight all day about what I believe, you know, okay, you're not doing this and we going there. Okay, let's go to church and let's have the same battle. Let's have this battle before God. Let's see what God says. Let's see what the man of God says to you. So I can change the battlefield. You know, my mom, I always say this all the time, I still got the battle for my family. That I want to see them grow. I want to see them be blessed. I want to see them have money. I want to see them have riches. I am still fighting the same fight. My mom asked me for do something, I'm going to break my neck to do it. The difference is I'm fighting the battle at a different place. See, I changed the battlefield, but the objective is still the same. So the result has been amazing because I changed the battlefield. A lot of times, people might say you're being reclusive or you're hiding. You're not hiding. You're prepared for the battle at a better battlefield, better battle place, better battle strategy. Because see, some people, battlefield is their battlefield. That's what I tell people all the time. You can't be snakes in a snake pit. Because they're used to fighting in a snake pit, so they're in their environment. So you have to change their environment. So the higher you take a snake, which a snake can't live at a high altitude, she's gonna die. So you have to change the battlefield. So instead of going to your snake pit, I'm going to take you up high so you can go where I'm at where you can't live. You have to change the battlefield. People of God, you cannot beat devils in hell, but they can't exist in heaven. Oh, I like that one. That you can't beat devils in hell, but they can't exist in heaven. So what you got to do is instead of going down to hell and fight them, you got to bring them up to heaven. Anybody can deal with you ignorant. If I'm cussing you out and talking stuff, but when you raise that intelligence up, then it changes everything. It changes them. People feel they feel convicted if you change your strategy, you change the battlefield, because they realize, hey, I can't do what I did before. You got to change your battlefield. Let me get into the next point. God never told you when you're going to die. So if he never told you when you're going to die, you have to find out who you are and what you do today. Because if you don't, you risk tomorrow dying a stranger to the world. Your job is to leave this world better than you found it. And the only way you can leave this world better than you found it is you have to know what you do and who you are. You cannot risk being a stranger to anybody. You cannot risk people not knowing what you're doing. God did not give you your gifts for you to die with them. Some people say all the time the greatest place of treasure is the cemetery. All the people who died for. You got to know what it is God called you to do. And what he has called you to do will keep your name going for years to come. Everybody know the Michael Jackson moonwalk. I can't do it, but everybody know it. Prince died last year, but everybody know how to get up high, like Prince. You know, there are people, Teddy P. Teddy P been gone for years, but everybody know his song. You know, I could go way back to the Temptations, lead singer, but you still hear their music because they live forever. And only way you're gonna live forever to know what you do. And I am going to close this last point out, and I'm gonna close the CD. And this is the last point I'm gonna make, and I want people, I pray this bless someone, is that you have to stop dripping yourself out to the world, and you have to die empty by pouring yourself out to the world. You cannot take anything with you. You can't take your money, you can't take your feelings, you can't take your personality, you can't take no talents with you, you can't take anything with you. When God calls you, that is it. So many people are dripping themselves to the world like they saving something for a better day. Sometimes you got to go for broke. You got to go bankrupt at who you are, so you have nothing left. You have to pour your ability into the world so that the world will still have your ability when you're 5 years gone from the world. You have to pour yourself out to the world. People, I pray that this CD and DVD bless somebody. But the point I want to make sure that you understand is that you have to know that you have to be the change that you require. You have to be the gold standard that you want everybody to live to. You have to check yourself first. And if you check yourself first, that's why we wear these big old checks right now, that we checking ourselves first. So we're taking the obligation to be everything we're asking you to be. So if we check ourselves, it's your turn. It is your turn. Go in peace, people of God. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm excited. Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, Minister Corey Wright. I have checked myself, now sure